Hi, I'm Greg Esnouf. I'm the Taskforce Coordinator of the CFA 2009 Fires Taskforce. I'd just like to give you an update on how proceedings are happening with the Bushfires Royal Commission and other matters to do with last year's fires. In February, there's been hearings on three main topics. The first topic they heard hearings on was land use planning. That's where people can build, under what conditions they can build, the planning permit system. And CFA had two witnesses that contributed to that evidence. That was the Director Community Safety Lisa Sturzenegger and Manager Community Safety James Fox. That evidence is concluded and the Commission will now consider all of that evidence. The second topic talked about in February was fuel management or fuel reduction burning. And there's quite a lot of debate about how much burning can be done, when and where and how. That evidence predominantly was led by DSC with some other parties. CFA supported that process. The third topic was roadside vegetation and the management of vegetation on roadsides. CFA had two witnesses that presented during that evidence. They were Len Leslie and Roger Strickland. And they talked about how burning is done on roadsides, how CFA brigades conduct burning, what some of the barriers to that burning were, and also how effective is burning in stopping burning on roadsides in stopping fires from spreading. From now until the end of May, the Commission will hear evidence on a number of other major topics. The first set of topics they'll hear evidence on is systemic issues. And there's a number of systemic issues the Commission have identified: firefighter safety, mapping, resource management and tracking, information flow, the operation of AIMS ICS, are key areas that they'll be looking at, also radio communications. That evidence will be heard during March. The Commission will also hear evidence on funding of fire services, the fire service levy, and how insurance works through that process. They'll hear evidence on stay or go revisited, as they call it, how warnings and advice are given to the community. And they'll hear evidence on organisational structure, how the fire services are structured and how they work together. As well as that, the Commission will be hearing evidence in various blocks on the causes and circumstances of each of the fatalities. Those hearings are not web streamed and often the names of people have been suppressed to assist in the welfare of the families affected. The Commission finishes its public hearings at the end of May, and it will then consider all of the evidence and will make a final report by the 31st of July 2010. While the public hearings are being held, remember that you can keep informed on what's happening by reading the daily summary on CFA Connect, or you can access the transcripts of the day's hearings from the Royal Commission website, or you can actually watch the hearings on live streaming on the Royal Commission website and actually hear and see what's happening through that process. As well as the Royal Commission hearings, there's also legal proceedings in relation to three of the fires, where the police have charged people with lighting those fires. Committal hearings for two of those fires will be heard in April and May. That's the Churchill fire and the Delburn fires. And CFA witnesses who were in the area at the time or were involved in the firefighting operations will be called to give evidence as part of those committal hearings. I'd just like to take this opportunity to remind everyone of the welfare arrangements that are in place to support people who may be giving evidence in either the Royal Commission or in the committal hearings, or people who may be supporting those people or may just be simply affected by the processes that are going on. Welfare is available, welfare support arrangements. Talk through with your local region and find out what welfare is needed and access it when you need to. Also, if you think there's someone that is close to you that isn't travelling particularly well and may need support, talk to them and help them to steer them towards the appropriate welfare. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We'll be doing another update in about a month's time.